I just wanted to give you a reading for this week. And these cards are from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. And it's by Tony Hartman, Tori, Tori, Hartman. They're kind of interesting cards. So I'm just going to read like a little story that goes along with each card. And then we'll go from there. The first card is Service. And I really like this card because I actually had a podcast interview with this lady named Roxanne earlier this week. And she talked about helping cancer patients when they were, like in hospice toward the end of their life. And that it really gave her a lot of joy to help people. So I just found it interesting that I pulled this card. So this card is about attracting whatever you desire. If you give up your desire. So sometimes we're really focused on what we want to happen. And sometimes when we're overly focused on it, like there could be roadblocks or delays. That's what I feel. But there's a legend behind this card. And the legend is about a lady named Honey Adams. And Honey Adams loved her 3 children very much. And she had a rewarding family life, though sometimes she regretted never finding a career outside of the home. At the end of her life, she realizes that this failure was not a failure at all. She achieved something more important, passing on a legacy of service to her daughter, Franny. Being a mother is a great accomplishment. So it looks like Honey Adams is a woman laying down in the bed, and it looks like toward the end of her life, she has 3 people, including the lady sitting in the chair, who's her daughter, Franny, that are helping to take care of her. So I think this card is about being selfless and kind of giving up some things to do for others, but in the right way. And really the inspiration of this card is, we might wish that things are different in our life. And, but this is an opportunity to look at where you are today and give up what you think you deserve and start being of service. So maybe help others. And how does the idea of service inspire you? How can you make the most of your present situation? How can you give? And this card is about finding contentment, like I said, helping others, joy of service. And I really like this card. I mean, we can still do things for others and be successful, right? Because, sometimes we just have to go with our heart and not feel bad about having to help other people. I was listening to another podcast, and I can't remember which one it was, but this lady said, instead of thinking like it's a burden to maybe take care of your animals or take your kids to school, look at it as a joy that you have these individuals in your life, these pets, these kids, because you won't get these moments back. So maybe reevaluate your life and kind of figure out what you need to do, maybe to give back in some way, when you can. Now, the interesting thing is the next card I pulled was guilt. And sometimes we have to give ourselves, like the person on the left, the service card, give ourselves, but also have boundaries so people aren't taking advantage of us. And I think that next card, guilt, is about that. And it's about giving to others, but also taking time to take care of yourself. Remember the story of the little red hen, about the hen and her little children that made bread? And they had to go through all these steps to make bread. They had to get the wheat, and then they had to turn the wheat into flour and do all this work. And then her friends never wanted to help, okay? But then when the bread was done, after all the work that the little red hen went through, the fox, the pig, and the other guy wanted to eat the bread without even helping. And so it's just kind of interesting. So watch out for takers. You can be a giver, but watch out for the takers, you know. So the legend of this story, the guilt card with the lady ironing, her name is Apricot. And Apricot is truly a saint. She sets aside her own needs and happiness to help others, even allowing freeloading friends to get involved in her business. One day, her latest business partner announces that she wants to dissolve their company and split the profits. Apricot stands up to her. The company is hers and she did all the work, while the so-called partner did nothing. Now she will only give from her excess, not from her reserve. Okay. So the inspiration of this card is, do not do for others what they need to do for themselves. Speak truth from your heart. Honesty is freedom, and any guilt is fear of being disliked. Okay? Because sometimes we want to be people pleasers, and that's not a good thing. And just maybe ask yourself, am I giving away too much of my time and energy and resenting it? So think about that and really take care of yourself. Try not to be too burdened by obligations. Don't enable others, and find your personal power, and be able to stay the course and say no. Make yourself a priority and be aware of this. So, we can be of service to others, like other people, like Franny and her mother that need help. The mother's actually at the end stage of her life, and the daughter Franny sitting in the chair helping her. We can be of help to others that need our help, but when people start taking advantage, like the guilt card, we really need to start setting the boundaries and saying no. Okay. The next card is wisdom. So wisdom is knowing the difference between a calculated risk and impulsivity. Okay. So the legend of this card is, one day a young sagebrush asks his grandfather to grow old with wisdom. How to grow old with wisdom. And the elder answers, we must learn from our mistakes. Before you worry about something, ask yourself if it will be important in the future. Enjoy the presence, because we change all the time. Okay? And the inspiration of this card is there some wise counsel that you have sought only to ignore it? Which sometimes I get giving readings. I'll tell people something and they just ignore it, which is weird. It's like maybe I'm not telling them what they want to hear, so then they just ignore it, and then they come back to me saying, well, I should have listened to you. And I'm not saying I told you so, but if someone's giving you advice, listen. And a solution may come from those more experienced than yourself. And stay in the present moment and do not let your thoughts jump ahead. And also the personal inquiry of this card is, do you go with your heart or against it? Okay. So I feel like you need to go with your heart and listen to the wisdom of your elders. Okay. Seek wise counsel if you need to, and honor yourself. Okay. I feel like you're going to be transforming. Okay. Maybe you're going to be ascending, because the wisdom card's pretty cool. It's kind of like, maybe you're ascending. And I really feel like you'll get the support of others. So I like that card. The next card is confusion. And that means like every silver lining has a cloud. So this is a story about Jana, and she climbs Faith Mountain in the dense fog. And it's interesting because it was foggy in California this morning. Kind of funny because it never usually is. So Jana wonders whether her decision to leave her boyfriend was the right one. There is another man waiting in the wings. So silver cloud surrounds her. See the cloud with the face? And it is cold and scary. Despite her confusion, Jana keeps climbing. As she reaches the summit, the fog clears, revealing the town far below. With Silver Cloud's help, she has journeyed much farther than she realized. She now knows what to do. She begins the long journey home to reclaim her love. So she goes back to her boyfriend, okay? So the inspiration of this card is though we may be like confused, we can always find clarity. So she actually climbed a mountain, but you could go for a walk. And meditation and quiet time often brings clarity. So if something's weighing on your mind, go for a walk in nature or meditate to clear your mind. Sometimes confusion is a good thing, and you can learn from it, because sometimes there's not an immediate outcome. Sometimes you need to step away from the situation like Jana did and kind of see what you want. And allow for spiritual support. Okay. And then you'll find clarity and revelation. It's okay to be confused sometimes. The universe will bring the answers, so have faith. Your last card is creation. And that card is about guiding you to your muse. And the legend of the story is, in time before history, she shaman walks the earth, bestowing artistic talents on a select few. One day she rests under a birch tree. "Hey," says Birch, "I want my muse too." Birch entertained she shaman for a long time, singing and telling tales. She shaman smiles. "My great friend, you have had the art all along." She vows that from then on, she will give everybody their own gift. To this day, she shaman has never left us. We see her inside every creative work. And this is the inspiration of this card. I feel like you're creative, and whatever creativity means to you, okay? It doesn't mean you have to paint a picture. Creativity could be doing makeup, it could be cooking, it could be sewing, it could be doing a podcast, that type of thing. And it could be writing a blog. So your path is an artistic one, and express your love in a tangible art form. It's time to make decisions, okay? And be creative. And then the personal inquiry of this card is, I am waiting for someone's permission to create my life. Or I'm sorry, I meant, am I waiting for someone's permission to create my life? So you don't need someone's permission to create your life. Just go with it. You don't need anybody's approval, okay? And then what do I need to do in order to claim my own gifts? So be open to your gifts. I mean, my brother is an artist, and I thought, I'm not as good as him, and I'm not creative, but you know, I let myself be creative. I actually was always creative, and I can paint and draw in a different way than he can. You know, my art is different than his, and I'm creative in other ways. Okay, so don't let people hinder you, and be open to magic and lasting transformation and your divine feminine and awakening creativity and finding your muse and owning your gifts. And it'll just be magical. I mean, sometimes I tell my clients, you're creative. They're like, no, I'm not. And they're really good at maybe doing makeup. I said, you know, you really are creative. Look at, you're doing makeup and hair. That's creative, you know. So, or some of them like to decorate. They're good at decor, or in one of them, she's staging homes for real estate agents. So, you know, tap into your creativity. And you know, open your mind to new things. And that's your reading. You know, be open, help others, but have boundaries. If you have answers, seek wisdom from the universe. If you're confused, step away from the situation, go for a walk, go out in nature, and you will find the answer. The answer is from within. The answer also comes from, you know, your spirit guides, your angels. And I did put some meditations on with permission from the people that I work with. They let me put the meditations on the site. I actually bought them from them. I paid them. I said, hey, can I put these on my Patreon? I'll give you a small little token if I can do that. And they're like, yeah, sure. So it's nice to be able to do that and enjoy the meditations too, because one of them is about connecting with your spirit guides. Okay. And then with creation, open up your creativity, tap into that, whatever that is. And you are wonderful and have a wonderful day. And there's more videos coming with the tarot.